Well. RBT family, what is the deal? It's your dog Willie Jack, and we are back, baby, back with more NFL action, man. Look, hey man, look, what can we say? Y'all know it. Y'all know what we're here for, okay? Y'all know why we here. It's time to talk about it, man. It's time to talk about it. The 2024 NFL season has concluded in spectacular fashion. Spectacular fashion. The Eagles in a very one-sided, dominant, belt-to-ass whooping of the Kansas City Chiefs. My God. 40-22, and would you believe? That don't even tell the story. Them 22 points make you think Kansas City might have did something. No, they were lifeless for about 52 minutes of the ball game, 55 minutes of the ball game. But be that as it may, we're here to talk about it. 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 Now, I'm going to take my time. Let y'all get in here and get real comfortable. First off, how was your Super Bowl experience? How was it? Did you enjoy yourself? You have a good time? Friends and family? How was everybody's Super Bowl festivity itself? Then also, we definitely want to know what you thought about the game. A lot of the times when the game is so one-sided, it may not be entertaining, so to say. But I don't think that was the case. I was thoroughly entertained. Yeah, I'm gonna let a lot of y'all Chiefs fans get on here and get real comfortable. Y'all be having a lot to say in this chat. Oh, I'm waiting on you today. We got time today. Kansas City. Matter of fact, while we wait, I see a couple of members in the building. Who in this thing? Mine's in the building. First one in the door. I appreciate you. Happy Wednesday. Shout out to the Big Nation family. Have a blessed show as always. Appreciate you, lady. Yes, ma'am. Hey, man, now look, hey, man, my dog, hey, Cooper Jones in the building, man. What's up, man? What's good? Tell Miles bring his funky ass on, man. Tell Miles bring his funky ass on. Yeah, man. He ain't doing nothing. He probably still crying in the car. Yeah, tell him get on in here. Yeah, man. Yeah, had a black. Hey, yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I was entertained. Hey, man, look who's in. Hey, Big Unc in the building, man. Hey, KC didn't play, man. Y'all might as well, but y'all could have saved that gas money, huh? Y'all ain't even had to take that trip. They could have stayed in Kansas City. I don't know how much it cost for everybody to fly to New Orleans. They could have saved that money. Man, they could have saved that bread. Hey, the dip in the wings was definitely hitting. I ain't gonna lie to you. Everything tastes a little better watching that ass whooping, boy. I tell you that. You know what I'm saying? Sugar was a little sweeter. Something about it. Hey, no, hey, Cooper John. Hey, I ain't gotta text the group. He know what time it is. Tell him stop crying in the car and bring his ass on. Yeah, it's a couple of folks missing. It's a couple of them missing, but it's all good. It's all good. Hey, man, yeah. When it was 24-0 going into halftime, I was like, oh man. And here's what's crazy though, huh? When it was 24-0, they was going into halftime. In the back of my mind, and it probably wasn't just me. In a lot of our mind, in the back of my mind, I was like, man, it looked ugly. It looks bleak. But there was a small part of me in the back of my mind was like, man, you know what, Patty might be good for 24. Patty might be good for 24. We've seen him do some things now. That 24 all in the first half, that wasn't the nail in the coffin for me. That wasn't a nail in the coffin. I think Patty came back from like 20, 24 points before in the playoffs. Now, it wasn't a Super Bowl, but a couple years ago in the playoffs against the Texans, they were down, I want to say like 3 touchdowns. They came back and won that game. You know what I mean? So I was like, man, hey, 13 seconds. All the legend of Mahomes. We know all of that. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know what? There still might be a chance. 24 points, there still might be a chance. But nah, I tell you the one that was the dagger. The 45, 46-yard touchdown to Devontae Smith that made it 34-0. Yeah, that was the ball game right there. That was the ball game right there. That was the one. That's where, if I'm an Eagles fan, that's where I finally let off a sigh of relief. Like, we did it. We did it. Yeah, but now the 24-0 at halftime, that one was still, like I said, I couldn't put 24 points past Pat. I couldn't put 24 past him. There was still a chance. But we're gonna get into it for sure. Now, matter of fact, I see a few of y'all in them views. I don't see everybody in the chat though. Now, what's going on? Hey, there my dog, man. Hey, shout out to my dog, Terrible Time Walker, holding it down for them Houston Texans in the building. Letting y'all know, if you didn't know, that the Texans going to the Super Bowl. Hey, man. If my dog Terrible Time ain't one thing, he's consistent. If he ain't nothing else, he's consistent. Shout out to my dog. Shout out to my dog. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Hey, no, yeah. The pick six was big. That made it 17-0. But 17, that's still Patty's good for 17. I was like, Patty's still good for 17. That was like, even when they got 24, I was like, it's all in the first half. They ain't got nothing going. I expected more from the Chiefs, honestly. I expected more. They was going into halftime. Patty then threw 2 interceptions. One on went to the crib. So I'm like, okay, get in there, Andy and Pat. You know what I'm saying? The mad scientists put their heads together, come out second half smoking. They gonna come out in the second half smoking. They came out in the second half and got smoked, man. Came out in that second half and got smoked. But yeah, we definitely gonna get into it. Now, before we get too deep off in the game, because we got a lot to talk about for sure, there is a little bit of news. We're gonna have our vegetables before we get to dessert. There is a little news. So we had the completion of this year's coaching carousel cycle. All the jobs are now filled. It has been no secret. Eagles offensive coordinator Kellen Moore has long been expected to be announced as, and now that the Super Bowl has concluded, he's officially been named the next head coach of the New Orleans Saints. So, you know what? Talk about making your first impression with your new team, in your new city, in your new state. You know what I mean? You go to New Orleans, you dominate, you win a Super Bowl against this generation's dynasty. You go out there and you spank ass. You do it in front of your new fans, your new home team. So New Orleans has got to be feeling pretty good about themselves. New Orleans should be feeling pretty good about themselves. Maybe some of that Eagles Super Bowl magic will rub off on Kellen. He get to bring it with him down to New Orleans since they won that bowl right there in New Orleans. So we'll see how it goes. For sure. Oh yeah, matter of fact, Coop, you took the words right out of my mouth, boy. That's just what we finna get to. Now, Jalen Hurts, as y'all can see in the first caption, Jalen Hurts is definitely the MVP of the game as far as what he was crowned. Excuse me, don't get too excited. He was crowned the MVP of that game, but the MVP of that Super Bowl was definitely the defense. That Eagles defense, dominant doesn't even feel appropriate. Dominant isn't enough of a description, just how one-sided it was. So I pulled a couple numbers for us. They had 6 sacks on the night. All right. They forced 3 turnovers. They scored 1 touchdown as a defense. And they accomplished all this without a single blitz on the evening. Now, Cooper Jones, my dog, you in here. And matter of fact, my dog Time as well. I was talking to your homeboy Miles mid-Super Bowl because I had told him on the show on Sunday morning. I said, hey, man, that Eagles defensive line finna get at it, boy. You know what I'm saying? Eagles like, man, Miles like, hey, man, you can't do nothing with a 4-man rush against Pat. Like, hey, man. I asked him how that 4-man rush look. He was hollering they blitzing, man. Look, hey, they ain't blitz all night, man. 60 minutes of football, had a firm foot in Patty's ass all night. 0 blitzes. 4 men up front getting home. Oh, man, it was wonderful. But no, it was definitely special. And here's the thing, man. when the MVP, I'm not mad about. First off, how do y'all feel about Jalen Hurts being announced as the MVP of the game? Like, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Because he definitely he had a hell of a game. He didn't have to be spectacular, but he did have to make plays, and he stepped up and made plays when it was time to keep everything on schedule, to keep the train moving, to keep us moving down the road, not stall out. You know what I mean? Not stall and let Kansas City hang around and linger around long enough to where now maybe they get some momentum and they come back and make something happen. So outside of those first couple drives, which were a little slow, once they got going, they took firm control and didn't look back. Hey man, the captain of the ship, man. Hey man, what's going on, man? Hey man, I wasn't sure you was gonna make it, dog. I wasn't sure you was gonna make it, man. Hey man, hey man, everybody, welcome my dog, our brother, captain of the ship, man. Welcome my dog Keandre to the chat, man. It was a long weekend for my dog, man. It was a long weekend, man. And you know what, Keandre? I can't wait to get your thoughts. I can't wait to get your thoughts on the game as well, man, as we get into it. My dog Coop said, oh, yeah, 16 pressures. And that 16 might be light, Coop. Because once we got like midway through the first quarter, definitely once we got to that second quarter, I don't know if he wasn't pressured on any dropbacks. It might have been like 3, maybe 4 dropbacks that we can count that he didn't have somebody chasing him. You know what I mean? Like, boy, he was runaway slave, boy. I'm trying to tell you. Maybe that's a bad analogy to make. Y'all forgive me. But, man, when I tell you, man, it wasn't nowhere safe. He couldn't run, couldn't hide from nowhere. 16 they might be doing him a favor calling it 16. If you told me it was 26 pressures, I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. I'd be like, yeah, man, it makes sense. My dog Keandre said, okay, Hurts is the MVP. They did stop Saquon. And you know what's funny about that, man? I think it was my dog Miles. And I think he said he called out Saquon's stat line. I think on the Sunday show, he said something about the Chiefs going to hold Saquon to like 25 carries for like 50 or 60 yards. Like, he said it on the show. On Sunday show, for sure he did. And they did. I think Saquon went 25 carries for 57 yards. He did have 40 yards receiving. So, on the almost 100 combined yards, but in an inefficient day. And he wasn't really a force at all. But here's the difference, though, Keandre. This is what I was going to talk about. The difference between the Chiefs and the Eagles, because the Eagles' run game was ineffective. But you know what they did, though? They still kept some semblance of balance. They still gave Saquon 21 carries. He averaged less than 2.5 yards per carry. But it was more so about just giving him the touches than what he did with them, because you just got to keep the defense honest. That's what Pat and Andy didn't do. There's no way in hell, and Andy don't need me to, y'all don't need me, and Andy don't need me to talk about how great a coach he is. He's a fantastic coach. Fantastic. He got in his own way. Him and Patty, I don't know, man. Because don't tell me that Patty's running for his life for 57 minutes of a 60-minute ball game, and we only call 7 designed runs, and Isaiah Pacheco had 3 carries apiece. Now, they didn't do nothing with the carries. But the fact that they only had 3 apiece in a game in which the O-line is getting spanked. You know what I'm saying? Like, not about the yards. At a certain point, you gotta give the O-line a break, and you gotta give Patty a break. Because Patty was broken. Not giving Patty a break caused him to be broken. You know what I'm saying? Man, that's Saquon had 25 carries. He didn't have 60 yards, but he had 25 carries. Like, that's what's the critical part of this. You know what I mean? My dog, Tom, hey, he was pressured on 3. Bro, when you getting pressure on a 3, Tom, good call out. Bro, when you get pressured on a 3-step drop, he didn't have time to throw a 5-yard hitch to Travis Kelce. He tried to throw a 5-6 yard hitch to Travis Kelce. I don't even know if it was a full 3 steps, Tom. Man, it might have been 2 and a hitch to throw a 6-yard stop route. Man, he threw it at Travis Kelce's ankles because he had 2 people in his face. My God. Hey, man. Oh, man. It was crazy, man. It was crazy. My dog Keanu said they got down early and didn't make us stay honest. And that's fair. But see, the thing about it is, like, the game didn't really get out of hand with the turning point in the game to where the game really kind of got spread out was the last 2 possessions of the first half. Because remember, that game's 10-0 before Patty throws the pick 6. So it was still Eagles come out. They're driving, they get to around midfield. It's 4th and like a long 2. So instead of tush push, they take a shot. I love their aggressiveness because it spoke to they're coming out here, they're not pulling no punches. The Eagles had it on their mind to come out there and make a statement. We're not scared of these Chiefs. We're not scared of this team. We're not coming out here. We're coming out here to let them hang, man. We coming out here to do what we got to do. 4th and 2 or 4th and 3. It might have been a full 3, 4th and 3. With Patty on the other side of the field, man, 40-yard chuck it ball, man. 40 yards up the sideline to A.J. Brown on the first 4th down of the game, on the first possession of the game. Now, that play gets called back for pass interference. Now, also, here's my thought as well. How'd y'all feel about the pass interference call? Because when I first saw it live, I was like, oh, here they go. Here they go. It's starting early, right? And I'm not the only one that felt like that. If you weren't cheering for Kansas City, that was the first thing you were thinking. Because it just feels like we see this happen. It feels like we might have been going down that same rabbit hole. But then honestly, once they showed the replay, and AJ Brown, his hand does get into the face mask, and even bigger than that, because that was still incidental, but even bigger than that, why I don't mind that flag is that AJ Brown initiated the contact. So they're like, it's when they start hand fighting, then you got to let them play ball. But generally, when the DBs beat, and Trent McDuffie got beat like a drum all night, boy, he didn't want nan smoke from AJ Brown all night, boy. I don't know why they left him on. Hey, look. Anyway, but generally, when the cornerbacks beat, he'll reach and start and initiate the contact and start grabbing or trying to block his arms. And then, okay, now the receiver's hand fighting. He's trying to free himself. But AJ Brown made first contact. You know what I mean? AJ Brown made first contact. So I wasn't mad about the call once I seen the replay. Now, was it a little ticky-tacky? You know, if that flag isn't thrown, is it egregious one way or the other? I don't think so. We've definitely seen worse. OPI is one of the least called penalties in football. So we've seen worse. So if it wouldn't have got called, but they called it. And, you know, when I seen the replay by the letter, okay, I can't be mad at it. But I can't lie. When it first happened live, boy, I'm telling you, I was sick. I was like, here we go. No, exactly right, bro. Even if you run like Saquon didn't average 3 yards. Saquon averaged 2.15 yards a carry. Kareem and Isaiah Pacheco, if they didn't give you nothing else, you've got to give that offensive line a break, and you've got to give Patty a little break. Like I said, because just sending them back there to run for his life was just as ineffective as maybe handing it to Kareem Hunt or Isaiah Pacheco. And then on the off chance, maybe they break one. A missed tackle, and maybe it's a 6-yard gain, and that's a spark. That's the spark they needed. It felt like Kansas City they just couldn't never get any footing in the game, man. And like I said, and then once they were fighting uphill, and then an avalanche. It was an avalanche, and they were still trying to climb uphill during an avalanche, man. You said a screen to slow the pass rush. And you know what? They did try an early screen. One of them got blown up. They tried a screen to Travis Kelce that got blown up, or he got pressured. The pressure came so fast on the screen, he couldn't even get the ball out to Kelce. Now, mind you, on a screen, you're fake blocking anyway to let them get upfield. But the pressure on the screen got there so fast, he couldn't even get the ball to Kelce on a screen attempt, bruh. When I tell you them dogs was hunting, That's the definition of ears pinned back. When you hear an announcer say the defense or the D line, they got their ears pinned back, they know it's past. The Eagles defensive line got to play an entire game like that. And we see what that's worth. When we know you not doing nothing but gonna drop back and run around, man, look, it was damn near shooting fish in a barrel. Patty was in a barrel and they were shooting at him. I'm telling you, man. I said Joe Tooney. Joe Tooney. Joe Tooney is the only offensive lineman welcoming back to Chiefs Kingdom. And see, here's the thing about it. Well, no, Trey Smith is a stud. Trey Smith and Creed Humphrey are studs. But the Eagles are 7 deep across the D line, bro. Like literally. They are legitimately 6, arguably 7 deep across the D line. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a rough bunch, man. It's a rough bunch. Hey, you know what, Keandre? Shout out to my dog Keandre, man. Shout out to my dog Keandre. You a real one, man. Because you gotta take the W's and the L's. Hey, you say I love when we get the calls, can't complain when we don't get them. I feel that, bro. That's how I be feeling about my Steelers, dog. I know what it's like to win, so I can't be mad when I lose, man. I can only be so mad when we lose. You know what I'm saying? I always try to congratulate the other team, dog. Hey, y'all went out there and did that, bro. Y'all went out there and did it. I salute it. See, I respect it. My dog Keandre, man, you a real one. Hey, McDuffie had a rough night, dog. Well, here's the thing about it as well. McDuffie, he's a slot receiver. He's a slot corner. So he's an inside corner anyway. Like, that's where he excels. That's where he's a true difference maker. Like, he's not his best on the outside. You know what I mean? This is dating back to his time in Washington when he was coming in. You know what I'm saying? When he came in from Washington. You know what I mean? Like, he does his best work on the inside. He's an all-pro for Kansas City on the inside as a slot. You got him out there on the island across from A.J. Brown. Boy, that's trouble for the best of guys outside. You know what I mean? And so he's not, that's not his wheelhouse. And it showed. Sis in the building, man, what's going on? What's going on? I done talked to text, got you, my bad, big dog. My bad, big dog. Hey, man, hold on, man. It's a celebration, man. Shout out to my dog. Hey, man, that's Day One Gang Jarrell, man, in the building, man. My dog, Day One Gang Jarrell in the building, man. He said the champs is here. What's good, man? Hey, long time, bro. Hey, it's good to see you, bro. Hey, man, you know what? Look here. Y'all ain't even remind me. I had to remind myself, man. Let me get the chat on the board for y'all, man. Look, y'all slipping. Y'all slipping. There we go. Yeah, man, y'all slipping. Shout out to my dog Day One Gang Jarrell in the building, man. Hey, I know you love that, boy. I know you loved it, bro. I'm happy for you. Hey, my nephew said, hey, fly, Eagles, fly. Hey, look, hey, hold on now. Hey, wait a minute, McKyrie. Wait a minute, McKyrie. I thought McKyrie was a Ravens fan. Or am I tripping? See, look, now my nephew in here, boy, you jumping ships, boy. You jumping ships, boy, I don't know. I could have swore you was a Ravens fan. Ain't you a Lamar Jackson fan? I'm pretty sure that boy's a... Hey, look, I ain't mad at you, though. I ain't mad at you. I'm just saying. I got to call you out, though. I'm pretty sure you was a Ravens and Lamar Jackson fan is what I thought. See, now I got to look at here. Look, now I got to see. Now I got to see. Hey, that's a fact. Hey, I ain't mad at that at all, bro. Hey, do what you got to do, man. Whatever it is. Whatever it is. Do what you got to do. Hey, matter of fact, one of them members, man, he had told me he had, like, moved from Tampa to Alaska. He said the same thing, like, man, I had to get my mind right. I was like, boy, if you got to go to Alaska to do it, and it works, boy, it's well worth it. Ain't no price you could put on mental peace, bro. Do what you got to do, bro. Anybody who's interrupting with your inner peace, hey man, get them up out of there, man. Do what you got to do, big dog, for sure. For sure, you right. Hey, I had to make sure. I had to make sure. Hey, he said he just cheered for all the birds. Hey, he said Raven, Eagle, Falcon. You know what I'm saying? Just all the birds. Hey, I had to make sure. I had to make sure. That's all, nephew. I had to make sure. I had to make sure. But nah, talking about this game, man. Let's go back. And I mean, we kind of talked about it. Oh, here's the thing, Keandre, you weren't in here. Now, here's the thing about it though, Keandre. I want to ask you, Keandre. And any other Chiefs fan, if you ain't, I see y'all in here, y'all might be a little shy, Chiefs fans. Go ahead, don't go ahead, speak up. Hey, my dog day one game, Jarrell said, "Hey, birds of a feather." Hey, he said it's all good. He said they got room on the wagon. They got room on the wagon. He said it's all good. But Keandre, man, tell me, when did you feel like, all right, this is probably too much? You know what I'm saying? Like, when did you feel like this might be too much? And I'll tell you what, because I was telling them before you got in here, I was telling them, I was like, when y'all was down 24-0 at halftime, I didn't count y'all out, man. I didn't count y'all out at halftime. Because it was 10-0. It was just 10-0 going into that, like midway through the second. Patty throws a bad pass. He throws back across his body. Cooper DeJean picks it, takes it to the crib at 17-0. And then either the next possession or maybe two possessions, whatever it was, I think it might have been that next possession, bro. He throws the second interception to Zach Bond. And this one, I think Zach Bond is like on the Eagles' 15-yard line. And so then 2 plays later, they get those 2 quick scores like almost back-to-back off of 2 interceptions. So that's what stretched it from 10-0 to 24-0. But like those are still anomalies. So I'm like, all right. And then also, let me not forget, I think D-Hop had that drop. And see this thing, I rewatched that D-Hop's pass or drop like 12 times. Like D-Hop should have caught the ball. I'm not going to excuse that. D-Hop should have caught the ball. And you hop. We know you for your hands. D-Hop had like a 2 or 3 year stretch. He didn't drop a pass. So we expect anything that touches it ain't even got to touch his hands. If it's anywhere in the area, we expect D-Hop to catch it. Maybe Patty could have gave him a cleaner ball. Maybe a little bit. You know what I mean? But even still, D-Hop's got to catch that. That pass is at the 50-yard line. He had 30 open yards in front of him. Now, D-Hop ain't have no wheels even in his heyday. So I ain't going to say he was going to take it to the crib. But boy, he probably gets shot down in field goal range. And that's right there before halftime. So like that drop after the 2 interceptions led to 14 points. Then that drop, then y'all going to halftime. But 24-0, Keandre, I ain't going to lie, cuz I still didn't count y'all out. I was like, man, look, we done seen Patty come down for 24 before. I remember when the Texans were up by 24 points in the playoffs. Now, it was in Kansas City in the divisional round, won the Super Bowl. But still, I've seen Patty come out down 24 and put up 30 in the second half. I've seen it happen. We've seen it happen. We all know the legend of Patty in the 13 seconds. We've seen it happen. So when they went down 24-0, going into halftime, and it was 14 points off of 2 just anomaly plays, Patty just pissed himself. You know what I'm saying? Patty just pissed the bed for 2 plays, and Eagles capitalized to turn into 14 points. Because without those 2 plays, it's 10-0. So I'm like, all right, Andy, Patty, they get in the halftime. They put their heads together. They get in the lab. They're going to come out smoking. You know what I mean? This is everything I was telling everybody before you got it, Kansas. I was like, man, I just knew Kansas City going to come out in the second half and make it a game. Nah, that ain't what happened. Because then the dagger happened. The 46-yard touchdown pass to Devontae in the third quarter. The 46-yard dime, it was a 46-yard handoff. A 46-yard handoff to Devontae that made it 34-0, and I was like, yeah, that's the ball game right there. That's the straw that broke Patty's back. That one right there, that one was it. That was it, man. You can cancel Christmas after that one. I like I said, man, I wasn't gonna. I gave y'all a shot. In the back of my mind, I'm like, man, 24, those two plays. You know what I mean? I didn't. You know what I'm saying? I didn't write y'all off 24-0, but 34 after the 46-yard handoff from Hurst to Devontae. Hey, man, I had to call it. Everything after that was decoration. Everything after 34-0 was decoration, bro. Yeah, that was it. That was it for me. Hey, Keandre, man, now good question. And I didn't find it. And I looked for it, bro. Like, I looked for it that night. And I think like the next day. So like I just tried to search because like his name in the chat is NFL questionnaire. So I hope he gets on tonight before I get off. But like I was searching for his name. I was searching for, you know what I'm saying, like playing around with it, trying to just find anything. But I didn't get anything to pull up. So I don't know what his actual page name is because maybe it's not. I mean, I don't know. But nah, I ain't find it, bro. I sure looked for it though. Matter of fact, if he get in here, I might have to remind him, or hopefully he'll remind us. But yeah, with my dog, Day One Game, Jarrell said, man. Hey, Jarrell, you said you was ready to call it at half. 20. See, I ain't gonna lie, man. Like 24-0 for 30 other teams, that's probably all right. They cooked. But I ain't gonna lie, bro. I was like, Patty threw 2 interceptions. You know what I'm saying? They turned into 14 quick points back to back. You know what I mean? So I was like, maybe there's a chance. Because the Chiefs defense played pretty solid. Saquon was held in check that first half. Well, he was held in check the whole game. But like just going into that first half, like the Chiefs defense had stood up as well. Like the OPI to start the game on A.J. Brown that stalled out that opening drive that ended up punting, right? And then they only had two scoring drives after that. They got down there, took a field goal, and then the false start on the first field goal attempt, and he almost missed the second one. I was like, there they go. I was like, here they go, man. But then he makes it anyway. You know what I'm saying? They end up get the deep shot to Jahan Dotson, and then Jalen Hurts gets the tush push in to break, you know what I'm saying, to break the first score of the game. And so it's only, so the Chiefs defense had been pretty stingy themselves. You know what I'm saying? And so the difference in the game was just 2 bad plays from Patty. So that's why I was like, man, it looks ugly. But outside of 2 terrible plays by Mahomes, this is still a ball game. So that's why I wasn't ready to count him out. I just thought, like, I can't believe that there was no, like, if they made an adjustment for the second half, y'all got to tell me what it was. Because just coming out in the second half and saying, screw it, we just still going to just drop back and forget we got running backs on the, you know what I'm saying? Like anything. Like, I don't know what type of adjustments at all happened, bro. If any. I didn't see them. My dog Karen said, yeah, back-to-back picks was over. Hey, he said you seen him scan the bench, and it was written on everybody's faces, dog. Damn, dog. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, man. I gave y'all a chance. Man. I gave y'all a chance. But yeah, the dagger for me was that damn 46-yard touchdown to Devontae Smith. That was the one for me. I was like, yeah, I gotta call it. Hold on. There we go. I was like, yeah, I gotta call it, man. I gotta call it. My dog Keandre said it wasn't the score that worried him. It was how they looked. Man, Hey, that's it. You make a good point, man. Because sometimes you could be down, but you still in the fight. And you know what? And what's crazy is like they kept showing they showed clips of Tom Brady and the Patriots when they were down 28-3 to the Falcons in that Super Bowl. So like they keep showing like clips of that, or since the game I've seen like clips of that, and they still in the fight. Like Tom on the sideline, like, hey, keep your head up, bro. We ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's a good point, man. But I think honestly, and here's the thing about it, the thing about this game, honestly, is that the only reason we expected this game to be competitive was just on the strength of the reputation for Patty and Andy. You know what I mean? What they did in the past. So, like, this team is the same team that it's been all year. But the difference is Those games, like Patty doesn't make those two mistakes, those two touchdowns, and they catch a break somewhere along the lines. They linger around long enough. They catch a break. They catch a little momentum, and then Patty's able to put those games away. But y'all know, I told y'all for 17 weeks, man, the Chiefs is skating by the skin of their teeth, man. And this was a game in which, like that break in the action, that change in momentum, that lucky bounce, or you know what I'm saying? Like that didn't happen. You know what I mean? Like there was just never anything that happened to just trigger or get things rolling for them, man. And they got steamrolled, dog. No, for sure. And that's what I was getting at for sure. That's what I was meaning to get back to when I was talking about the MVP. Like I'm not mad that Jalen got it, man, but I think it could have went to Josh Sweat, the defensive end from the Eagles. He had 2.5 sacks, 2 tackles for loss, and he's the guy. It wasn't a sack, but he bull rushed Joe Thuney. He pushed Joe Thuney into Pat, and then Pat was off balance when he threw that second interception to Zach Bond that led to the AJ Brown touchdown. So like, and that for me, like those, like, yeah, man, that might have been enough for me to give him the MVP. Like that performance, 2.5 sacks. He helped cause another interception. Like, I mean, that's big. But then at the same time, Milton Williams, he also had 2 sacks and forced the turnover as well. He had 2 sacks, 2 sacks for a loss, and his sack was a strip sack, and I think he recovered his own fumble that he forced. So between those two guys, either one of them could have been MVP, but I would lean Josh Sweat. But I can understand. That's why I'm not mad that it was Jalen, because Jalen played good, clean ball on his side of the ball. Outside of the interception he threw, and that was a good call by Spags. They had a blitz. They blitzed Nick Bolton right up the middle in the A-gap. Jalen, I mean, they weren't ready for it. He comes untouched. Jalen can't. He just tries to get the ball in the air to give A.J. Brown a chance, and he just doesn't make it. He doesn't get enough on it, and Kansas City intercepts the ball down there inside their own 10-yard line. Because if not for that, and the Eagles score right there, yeah, it could have been a 50 ball. This could have been a 50 ball. Hey, shout out to my dog Cooper Jones, man. I was gonna ask y'all, so what did y'all think about the halftime show? Was y'all feeling it or what? Tell me your thoughts on the halftime show. Now I'll tell y'all what I think. Like, I think, like when I first was watching the show, just from like pure raw excitement or entertainment, it was a little subdued. Like Kendrick's mic was a little low. You know what I'm saying? And like it was just a little subdued. But then as the show progressed, and then like I feel like I had an aha moment. You know what I mean? Like I love Samuel L. Jackson in there being Uncle Sam. I love that. You know what I'm saying? They had Serena out there crip walking on national TV. You know what I'm saying? So like once I had like an aha moment, like, oh, wait a minute. And I started seeing the big picture. I started seeing the work as a whole, or like the performance as a whole, and realized that this was an artistic expression. You know what I'm saying? Like it was bigger than just a Super Bowl concert. Like, nah, it was bigger and deeper than that. And like after I had that little aha, I was like, okay, yeah, nah, this is dope. This is dope. I liked it for sure. My dog Day One Gang said that show was litty. Hey, I feel you, bro. And that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, yeah. Like when it first, like them first little like 4-5 minutes, I was just kind of like, man, it's a little, you know what I'm saying? Like, why his mic's a little low and it's a little subdued. You know what I mean? Even the song choice, the selection, you know what I mean? Like he didn't just go straight in for like all the hit. It was like a curated, like purposeful performance. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it was dope, bro. It was dope. It was dope. Sis in the building said, yeah, went over a lot of people's heads. And yeah, and the thing about it is like, and I can see why, you know what I'm saying? Because like when you see the halftime show, like you just think just instant excitement. You know what I'm saying? Like you think about, like I still think about Bruno Mars. They can have Bruno need to be in the regular Super Bowl performance rotations. I don't give a damn. He ain't got nothing new out. Cause when Bruno hit the Super Bowl stage, boy, went crazy. So yeah, so if you were just looking for instant, raw, you know what I'm saying? Like just sugar to the brain, if you were looking for that right out the jump, then nah, it probably didn't hit you right. You know what I mean? And so like right when it first happened, because that's just what you expect. Beyonce, Rihanna, Bruno Mars, you expect to get hit right in the head with, you know what I'm saying, with excitement on 10. Like, nah, man, you had to take a pause, take a beat, and actually kind of like absorb what, like, you know what I'm saying, like fully like take in what's happening. And then it was like, oh no, yeah, okay, this is dope. You know what I mean? That's how I felt. Yes, I wasn't mad at it at all. We said Drake telling Dot to go get his uncle. Yeah, for sure, bruh. For sure. I love it. Like having Sam, and then like even like the play on words like Uncle Sam being Uncle Sam. That's hard. You know what I'm saying? But then just no, that was dope, bro. That was dope, bro. Hey, that's a fact, Jarrell. Ain't no accidents, bro. Ain't no accidents. And then that's to say, bro, you know Drake was sick. No, Drake didn't see it. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Drake was somewhere in the middle of the ocean on a yacht with no internet. He was completely disconnected. Guaranteed. Because ain't no way Drake could have been near any TV, any phone, any tablet, laptop, social media, and had to hear on national TV 80,000 people scream A minor. Ain't no way in hell. Ain't gonna do it. Can't do it. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Even the way he set up the Not Like Us. Like, man, I would do it, but you know, they want to sue me. He's like, nah, I'm chilling. And then like I'm saying, do another song, like made like the way he built it up. And then finally he was like, all right, yeah, nah, we here. Let's get it. Like, yeah, it was cold, bro. It was cold, bro. Hey, facts. Yeah, for sure. And then like at the end, like the audience, and I didn't catch this live. I had to see it like on Twitter or Instagram or something like that, like later on. But like after like at the end of the performance, where he like winks at the camera, then it like the camera pans out and it shows the audience behind him, and then it like the audience lights up and it says game over. Like, bro, it was hard, bro. It was, bro. Hey, the baby A chain. Hey, that's petty, bro. that's petty, dog. Hey, exactly, bro. Exactly. He on the other side of the world. He did. I guarantee. Look, it was no electronic devices within 150 feet of Drake the night of the Super Bowl. I'm telling you, he was in the Pacific Ocean on $1 million yacht, trying to forget everything else that anybody else existed in the world. Oh, they definitely was. Yeah, they definitely was for sure. Now here's another thing I want to talk about, man. I think we just said everything we can say about that game, man. We just said everything we can say about the game. Man, you know, one thing we didn't do, man. One last thing I want to say. Shout out to Xavier Worthy. Rookie, to be a rookie in the Super Bowl. And now these stats were in the garbage time of the game, right? I think the Chiefs scored 2 touchdowns and 2-point conversions in the last 3 minutes of the game. It was 40-6 until those last 3 minutes, then the Chiefs get the 2 touchdowns. But Xavier Worthy finishes as a rookie in the Super Bowl, 8 catches, 157 yards, 2 touchdowns, monster performance. So kudos and congratulations. Shout out to Xavier Worthy. But yeah, now other than that, man, I think we did everything we could do with that game. Now, here's the next thing I want to talk about, man, before we get up out of here. How are we feeling about the GOAT debate now? Like the Brady versus Mahomes debate. Like, how are we feeling? Because going into this game, there was talk that Patty might already be it. Some folks were and that's a little premature to say he already is the GOAT. But they were saying with this win, people were ready to go ahead and crown him. Like, how are y'all feeling about that? He had an actual well, I know he was on tour because I seen like clips of him performing or whatever, but I guess I didn't realize they was like, I know he was over there on tour touring, but actual Super Bowl night. Yeah, you know, that probably makes sense. He had to go somewhere where the super that like Australia. I wonder what the American football like fan percentage is in Australia, because he had to go somewhere where people are going to buy them tickets to see him perform instead of watch the Super Bowl. So if you got to find somewhere to perform and do that, Australia is probably the place, I would imagine. I thought D-Hop got that first touchdown. No, D-Hop did get that first touchdown. D-Hop got that touchdown, and then I think Xavier Worthy got that 2-point conversion, and then Worthy got the second touchdown, because the last one he got, the last touchdown y'all scored was that 50-yard touchdown, which was a great throw, great catch, but that was the second one. He got the last touchdown. D-Hop got that first one. But yeah, nah. So this I want to know, where do y'all land on the GOAT debate? Because I'll tell you what now. Like I was of the mind, like Tom's got 7 rings. Tom Brady, he's got 7 rings. He also has 2 head-to-head victories against Patty, one of them being in the Super Bowl. Now, the first one that he beat Mahomes head-to-head, it was in the AFC. It was in the championship game. The D4s lined up in the neutral zone game. That would have, coulda, shoulda, would have, but likely would have been a win for Kansas City then, and they wouldn't have went to that Super Bowl. But instead, they don't. Right? Tom and them win that game, so he's 0-1. And then in the Super Bowl with the Bucs, and they dominate that game. Similar to kind of this one with the pass rush and Patty having a hard time running for his life. So now I'm thinking, if he'd have won this one, a 3-peat, and like I said, the way he did it, maybe there's a chance. Now, Luke being 0-2 head-to-head, including the Super Bowl loss against Tom, and the Super Bowls that he lost, getting blown out of both of them. Like, nah, man. Now I think it's gonna have to be the rings. Now I'm thinking it might have to be the rings, man. I was thinking Patty could be the GOAT with 4 rings. You know what I mean? I didn't think it was gonna take 7. I was like, nah. If Patty gets 4 rings, he can get it. Now I don't know, man. Because those Super Bowl performance losses, especially this one, it's ugly. It's ugly, man. It's gonna take a little bit. He might need 2 more rings. He might need 2 more Super Bowls to wash this one out, man. Because 1 more ring don't even equal this. This was bad. This was a bad loss. I ain't gonna lie. It was bad. My dog Day One Gang said even if he did win this one, he wasn't gonna crown him the GOAT, but he definitely can't now because we see it's a chink in his arm. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, bro. Like, this is an ugly loss, dog. Like, I thought that if he got the 4 rings, I think it could have been a conversation. I was like, if he gets the 4, it's a conversation, bro. If he got the 5, I get to him. Get the 5, I get to him. 4, it was gonna be a conversation though. It depended on how it looked for the 4 he got. Especially if he gets 4 and that includes a 3-peat, man, that's crazy. But now he's 3-2. 3-2, that's not a bad mark. But the 2 he lost, my God. The 2 he lost. Even that first one was ugly. But nah, this one, he played poorly. Like, he played poorly. The pass to Cooper DeJean is on him. Booting to the right, throwing back across your body to the left, that's on you. And then, honestly, the one with Tony gets pushed into him. I'm not gonna lie, like that definitely affected the pass. But that pass wasn't going nowhere anyway. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think, not Kelce. Was that Justin Watson behind Bond covered? And Bond still, like, I mean, it was still a bad decision, period. Regardless of him getting pushed, regardless of Tony getting pushed into him, it was a bad decision. Then it ends up getting picked. And then some of the misses, the short miss to Kelce, throwing the ball in the dirt to Kelce, balls at Kelce's ankles. You know what I mean? There were just misses. Panicking in the pressure. He looked panicked. Like, I ain't gonna lie, bro. This was ugly. So look at the stats, though. This many games. Pat is statistically better than Brady. Did the same amount of games if he comes back this year with the head out of there. He'll be greater. And see, well, we got to be careful, though. We got to be careful with the stats. Because, and you know what? Shout out to my dog Chop, man. He ain't in there tonight. Shout out to my dog Chop. Because this is one of the reasons for my last show, Let the Film Speak. because just the raw numbers don't always tell the story. You know what I mean? Like numbers wise for sure. Now it's a different league now as well. Let's not forget that the first 10 years of when Brady was playing football was a different league. Rules wise and just the way the game is played. So it was also a different league. You know what I'm saying? But no, like just pure ability. Yeah, pure ability is probably going to be Pat. But also, if we just talking pure ability, then who's better than Aaron Rodgers? You know what I'm saying? If it's just pure ability. So that can't necessarily be just the decision, I guess, for the argument. He's still gonna have tough battles in the AFC. Yeah, nah. And here's the thing, right? And here's the thing about it though, Jarrell. Like, bruh, they in trouble. Like they maxed out that team. You know what I mean? Like they really maxed out that team. This feels like the last go. Because now, like Kelce's going. Here's another question for y'all. Does Kelce retire? Is this the end for Kelce? Because Kelce probably need to hang him up, man. You know what I'm saying? You went out on your sword, big dog. You went out on your shield. You put yourself in the GOAT conversation. You were a 3-time Super Bowl champion, an all-decade tight end, a Hall of Fame career, a Kansas City Ring of Honor player. You know what I mean? Kelce is maximized his career. Like this year was this. I mean, like I said, man, this was it. This was it. Like I don't want to see Kelce no more after this. It feels like Kelce this year looked like a fighter who stayed one fight too long. You know what I mean? Kelce, right now, you stayed one fight too long. Go ahead, hang it up, big dog. Hang it up. Retire a legend. Don't hang on too long, man. We don't want to see you get carried out the ring, Kelce. We don't want to see you get carried out the ring, man, looking sloppy. So Kelce's probably out of there, man. That offensive line, like Trey Smith, the other guard, he's an all-pro. He's a free agent. Y'all can't afford him. Chiefs can't afford to keep him, so he's gone. So now a weak offensive line is going to get weaker because it's expected they're going to lose Trey Smith. You still got to find 2 tackles. Xavier Worthy, you probably got something there. So you got to continue to develop Xavier Worthy. Rashee Rice, that injury, even without the injury, he still is open to suspension. So even if he wasn't injured, because the people are saying like even with the injury, regardless of the suspension, with the injury he sustained, he's not going to be he's not going to be ready for the opening season coming up anyway with the injury. And that's on top of a likely some style of suspension that's still in the wind. So I mean, they got a lot of work to do, man. They got a lot of work to do. They got a lot of work to do on that team to get it talented because the other guys in that AFC are catching up. Baltimore is a decidedly more talented team than Kansas City. Kansas City finds a way to get it done because they're champions. They're champions, and they showed that pedigree. But Baltimore is a supremely more talented team. Buffalo, who beat them in the regular season, who had a chance to beat them in the AFC Championship game as well, but it still feels like they're in better shape going forward. I would still say they're in better shape going forward. So I mean, I don't know. And then Joe Burrow and the Bengals, the Chiefs kryptonite as it is anyway. If they ever find any semblance of a defense, my God. But so yeah, man. So the heavyweights in the AFC are all, I think they've all caught up to Kansas City for sure. And Kansas City is going to take another step back is the way it's looking. So like this offseason, this draft is going to be massive for Kansas City, bro. Because I don't think the horizon looks too bright right now. Not the way that team is constructed right now. He said the numbers tell the numbers with QBs more than running backs or TDs. I mean, but I don't agree, bro. I don't agree. Because you're not going to tell me that Patrick Mahomes, that you're not going to tell me that Baker Mayfield's better than Patrick Mahomes. You know what I'm saying? Like, because like, does that only apply? Like when does that apply then? Because season for season, Patrick Mahomes hasn't been the best quarterback in football for 3 seasons then. If that's the case. If we just get to make that argument based on the numbers. So it's got to be deeper than just the raw numbers. You know what I mean? Like when's the last time Pat led the league in touchdowns? When's the last time Pat led the league in passing yards? When's the last time he led the league in completion percentage? So if you're gonna use just raw numbers for that argument, well then you gotta be careful because we can't pick and choose when that applies. You know what I'm saying? Like Geno Smith led the league in yards and completion percentage 2 years ago. Ain't none of y'all gonna tell me that y'all think Geno Smith is a better quarterback than Patrick Mahomes. It ain't gonna happen. So like it's gotta be something that's more applicable than just in spots. Like, you know what I mean? My dog, Day One Gay Dress said, definitely feel like this Kelsey's last ride. Yeah, man. I ain't gonna lie. Like, respectfully, I hope he hangs it up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think respectfully, man, it's time to hang it up. Cause like the way he looked this year, if he comes back next year, he's hurting. It looks like he's gonna be hurting the team. And then in the Super Bowl, he didn't get his first catch to the third quarter. Now maybe not all that's on him. Like they tried to throw a screen to him early. Patty almost got killed. Then Patty threw one at his ankles. You know what I mean? So it was harder to get him going, but yeah, nah, man. It looks like it's time. It looks like it's definitely dead time, man. Doc Carey said the numbers tell the tale with QBs a lot easier than running backs, which what do you think Chop is referencing? I don't know, man. I wish Chop was in here so I can have him expound on that, man, to let me know. Because generally, like one of the things that me and Chop, like when we used to have our show, you know what I'm saying? Like, and one of the key points about that show was like looking deeper than the numbers. Like, what does the actual film say? You know what I mean? And here's also the thing about greatness, though, Keandre. It's like greatest and best are different. Is Patrick Mahomes a better quarterback? I would probably say yeah, because better to me is more about the tangible. Greatness is just as much intangible as tangible. Like that's why for me, like Muhammad Ali is the greatest. Not because that he's just the single best boxer, not because he's got the best record. He lost. He lost multiple times. But he's the greatest. He's the GOAT. Because greatness is bigger than just the raw numbers. You know what I mean? Like, so that's what greatness and better are different. LeBron James, if you argue that LeBron is a better basketball player than Michael Jordan, okay, yeah, maybe. Maybe. He's not greater. He's not the greatest to ever play. MJ is the greatest to play, in my opinion. That doesn't mean that LeBron may not be a better basketball player. He's got a better handle with his left and his right. He's more athletic. More athletic. I don't know. Because, hey, man, Jordan had like a 48-inch vertical and ran 4.3. You know what I mean? So he wasn't no slouch athletically. But, I mean, whatever. I don't want to get too far in the weeds. But that's what I'm saying. So, like, greatness isn't just the raw numbers. You know what I mean? I think Lennox Lewis heavyweight record is better than Muhammad Ali's. Lennox Lewis ain't greater than Ali. Hell no. You know what I'm saying? So like it's greatness is deeper than that. I think greatness is deeper than that. Better and greater different. Aaron Rodgers is a better quarterback. Patrick Mahomes may be a better quarterback. Hell, Peyton Manning may be a better quarterback. You know what I mean? Like so that's different. Joe Montana, whatever, whoever you want to say. But greatness is a little different. Greatness is a little extra, man. Greatness is context and intangibles have to be included. Said Noah Gray's gonna be ready when 87 hangs it up. He better, because that time's coming sooner rather than later, bro. He better be ready. Because y'all ain't got time to wait. Well, see, hey, be careful, Keandre. Because was it Pat or was it the Chiefs? Because Pat, how many of those games did the Chiefs win? Not Pat. How many games did that defense win? That special teams unit win? See, you can't. That's not a Pat stat. That's not a Patrick Mahomes stat, especially this year. Some years, yeah, it's okay to say a statement like that. This isn't a year that you say how many wins did Pat get. Pat wasn't on shit. Pat was special in 4 games this year. How many games did y'all win on a questionable call, on an excellent special teams play, on a dominant defensive play at the buzzer? How many of those games did y'all win? I was saying all year that y'all a 15-2 team, that if we blink, you could have been 10-7. Could have been 11-6. So those 15 wins, that's not that, y'all. You can't even say that, bro. That you can only say that when you the 93 Bulls. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe then, because Pat's out there cooking every week. Pat's out there throwing for 350 and 4 touchdowns a week. Yeah, then all right. If Pat was cooking like that, like back in the way back, if Pat was like that back then, that Pat, yeah, I give him them 15 wins. Hell no, these ain't Pat's 15 wins. These are carefully crafted and curated Chiefs team wins. Hell no. Hell no. Pat didn't lead shit. Pat didn't lead the league in shit this year. Hell no. Those was Chiefs wins, bucko. We see, and you know what? And you know what tells that story? Is the Super Bowl was a chance for Pat to win. Because the team was getting their ass beat. So if Pat was going to lead the league in wins, he should have led them on Sunday. Like Pat couldn't, no, Pat wasn't able, Pat was in that ass whooping line with everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Like, hell no, bro. This wasn't a year for us to count Pat wins. Hell no. Hey, Taylor Swift and drop a, hey, if she's smart, she damn sure need to drop an album. I don't care what she say on there. Hell yeah, she need to drop an album tomorrow. Hell yeah. Drop an album and a tour. So look at the past record. How is he not the greatest? He's the best 2-minute QB in history, and he's huge at big moments. Do I say he's greater or not better? Well, first off, like, why is he the greatest 2-minute quarterback in history? Because of the 13 seconds in Josh Allen? That was great. That was fantastic. But like I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm necessarily ready to just. I don't know, man. That's a very subjective statement, bruh. He's huge in big moments. He is. Is Brady not big in big moments? So Brady's not huge in big moments? Because is Brady not clutch? Is Brady not clutch in the fourth quarter? Like the things you just complimented Patty on, Tom got that. Tom doesn't have the natural raw arm strength or athleticism, but Tom is clutch. Tom's got big moments. So like that doesn't separate him from Tom Brady. Tom Brady has also been down 24 points in a Super Bowl in the first half. Tom's also done that. So yeah, bro, like I'm not taking that away from Pat, but to say he's the greatest in both of those things, well, the guy he's chasing is also great at those things. How great at those things was Cool Joe Montana? Cool Joe is Cool Joe because when the game's on the line in the biggest moments, he was cool and came through in the clutch for 4 rings. So Pat, that's nothing new. Joe Montana made his name being cool in the clutch and coming through in the biggest moments of the game. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not new. Hey, Coop, I missed you because you said AI and Vic. I'm not sure what you're talking about, bro. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Said, yeah, Chiefs get as close, but no, exactly. So is that a benefit? Is that a credit to Pat, or is it credit to the team carrying Pat until it's time for him to make one play? Because like the way you saying like Pat gets him over the hump, well, it tells me, well, okay, well, Pat had to be carried to the hump before he got us over. So that still goes both ways. And that's what I was talking about this year. That team did a lot of the heavy lifting. That defense did a lot of the heavy lifting. That special teams unit did a lot of the heavy lifting. Now, one thing about Pat, he was able to show up and make those 2 plays a game to get him over the hump. But that's just as much a credit to the team, because when the offense wasn't moving the ball and wasn't producing, that defense and special teams kept the team in the mix. And then a friendly bounce here, a friendly call there, and now we can go out there and make a play. You know what I'm saying? Like Pat's Kobe on an off shooting night. If Kobe is 9 for 27 from the field, but the Lakers are still down 1 in the fourth quarter, you damn right I want Kobe to go to the free throw line. He's still Kobe. So when Kobe hits those 2 free throws to ice the game, yeah, we needed you and we expect you to do that. It don't mean that we didn't carry the team while you was 9 for 30 from the field, though, Kobe. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know, man. You gonna ask me questions I don't know off the top of my head. I don't know who has that stat on top of their head, man. Now I'm not that good. Even I'm not that good, man. I don't have that stat fired up and ready. I'm not that good. But it still begs the question, well, why are those 1 possession games? Is it a 1 possession game because Chris Jones and Trent McDuffie and your dog George Karlaftis? Is it a 1 possession game because Spags is doing his thing? So when the offense didn't do anything for 3 quarters and the defense and special teams kept it close, that now that Pat shows up, now we can get the dub? Like, what about the credit for that? You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, he's Kobe. Kobe is still going to be the guy we want shooting the free throws in the fourth quarter. That's not going to change. That's not going to change. But it don't mean that Kobe carried us to the win when he had an off night and then he hit them 2 last field goals, man. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. Said carried him to the hump. Bro, here's the thing about that, Keandre. Do you think that game would have been any worse if Pat was on the bench? Is that game any worse if Carson Wentz played? Is the game worse if Carson Wentz played? If that's what you're saying, because that's a silly statement. Well, let's put him on the bench. That's stupid. No, man, he's still gonna play. He's Kobe. We're gonna live and we're gonna win and lose with Kobe going 9 for 30 from the field because he's Kobe. He's still Kobe. We still gonna play him, but in that game, for the sake of what you just said, in that game, that score is probably identical. That the meaningful part of that score, because he got 2 touchdowns in the last 3 minutes of the game. Kenny Pickett was in for the Eagles. So don't forget, he got 2 touchdowns in the last 3 minutes with Kenny Pickett in for the Eagles. So those touchdowns are this was a 40-6 ball game in the Super Bowl. So you telling me that Carson Wentz couldn't have led that team to a 40-6 loss in the Super Bowl? Because he could. He can. I guarantee you, if he can't do nothing else, he could have got 6 points. He could have lost that game 40-6. I'm not all right. We're gonna wrap it up. I'm not down in Patty. I'm not down on him, but I'm saying, like, we gotta balance that. We gotta balance the argument a little bit. That's all I'm saying. We gotta balance the argument. Because yeah, he's shown up in big moments in the clutch, but showed it Joe Montana, showed it Tom Brady, showed it Peyton Manning, showed it John Elway. So we've had greats that perform and rise to those occasions. That's not exclusive to Patty. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Now, here's the good thing about it, though, Keandre, and just Chiefs fans in general. Bro, Pat's still, well, how old is Pat? Is Pat, Pat's not 30 yet. Pat's like, what, is Pat 28, 29? Like, bro, Pat's got a lot of good ball left in front of him, man. Pat's got a lot of good ball left. And here's another thing as well. Here's another bone I'll throw you, Keandre. So Tom Brady, when they won those first 3 Super Bowls, he won those first 3 Super Bowls, I think, in the first 8 years. And then they won those first 3 Super Bowls, I think, in the first, 6 years or something like that. And then the Patriots had a 10-year drought where they didn't win any Super Bowls. Remember, they was trying to replace Brady with Matt Castle and Jimmy Garoppolo. And then Tom caught a second wind. They went and got Randy Moss. And then they got back, they went and got Randy Moss. They drafted Gronk, Aaron Hernandez. They went and got Wes Welker. Like, they revamped that Patriots team. They stayed competitive for that 10-year spell in between They stayed competitive, and then they rebuilt. And then Brady had a renaissance, and then Brady won 4 rings the second half of his career after winning 3 in the first half. So the thing about Pat and you, man, nah, man, I'm not calling Pat Smush. You crazy, man. I'm not calling Pat Smush. But now the thing about it is, what I was about to say though is like Pat's still Pat ain't turned 30 yet. You know what I'm saying? Like Pat's 28, 29. If he wants to play, if he stays healthy, because he's been relatively healthy. He's had a couple bumps and bruises. He's had a couple ankle rolls and everything, but relatively he's been healthy. So like if he stays healthy and he still wants to play, why doesn't Pat have, who's to say Pat doesn't have another 8 to 10 years of ball left? Because I think he's 28. If he's 28, playing till 38 is not at all unusual, unheard of, or out the question. It's not unusual, unheard of, or out the question at all to say that Patty Mahomes plays at least another 8 years and retires at 38. So let's say even if they have a couple down years as they reset that roster, and I mean down years just to say like maybe they're not going to consecutive AFC championships. Because I don't think just the way that roster looks and with the turnover that's anticipated to happen, because y'all got to do a little rebuilding. Kelsey's finna be out of there. That offensive line needs some help. Both tackles are trash, and you about to lose one of your guards who's a stud, Trey Smith. So you got to revamp that offensive line. You still got to solidify that wide receiver room. Travis Kelce's gone. You got to replace him. You've got to find a difference maker at running back. You know what I mean? Like you still got to find a capable, dependable back. So I think y'all got to revamp that whole offense essentially. There's 4 positions on that offense that are good to go for the future for the next 4 years. Quarterback, center with Creed Humphrey, guard with Joe Thuney, put him back at guard, and Xavier Worthy at receiver. Outside of those 4 on offense, everybody else can be replaced. Everybody else needs to be updated. Everybody else needs to be improved upon. So y'all got to revamp that whole offense essentially. And then on the defensive side, it's a solid unit, but I still think y'all probably could use another playmaker on the back end. But the point is, like, I think there is going to be a little period where y'all always going to compete because y'all got Pat and y'all got Andy. So I think y'all always going to be competitive. I don't know if y'all always going to be on the doorstop, on the door, I don't know if y'all going to be on the doorstop of the Super Bowl like y'all have been these last 5 years. But I think y'all going to be competitive. But I think in these next, let's say 2-3 years, like, you know what I'm saying, why y'all rebuild it. And then 3 years later, Pat's just now turning 32, 33. He still got 5 good-ass years left. Shit, y'all have a second run. You know what I'm saying? There's still time to have a second run. Brady had 10 years between Super Bowls. And then he had a second run. So Pat still got that. Pat can still do that as well. Pat can definitely still do that as well. Like I said, as long as he still wants to play and as long as he stays healthy. That's what I was finna get to. Now, y'all got a deep threat now. Y'all got a deep threat. Xavier Worthy's a deep threat. He showed us in the Super Bowl. He's a deep threat. And we knew he was supposed to be a deep threat when he got there. And here's the thing about it, Keandre. All year, like him and Patty just couldn't get on board. They just couldn't get on the same page all year. Because he was burning boys deep, but him and Patty, they chemistry, like, you know what I'm saying? Like they couldn't hit, they missed on a lot of those deep shots that they hit in the Super Bowl. There was opportunities for that throughout the year, but him and Pat just weren't necessarily on the same page. But I think y'all have the deep threat. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all need, like, I don't know what's going to happen with Rashee Rice between his injury and his suspension. So I'm not going to depend on Rashee Rice. You know what I'm saying? So I think y'all still need another receiver, but somebody that's just the possession guy. You need the complement to Xavier Worthy because he showed us now on the biggest stage. He showed up and showed his ass. You know what I mean? So he's the deep threat for sure. But yeah, man. Hey, I think that's probably all we got tonight, man. I think we did everything we came to do. You know what I mean? So shout out to the Eagles one more time, man. That was a very dominant performance. Congratulations to them. Shout out to Saquon Barkley as well, man. Talk about what a difference a year makes. You know what I mean? Let go by the home team, or not? Yeah, I'm gonna say home team, just the team that drafted them. But you know what I mean? Thought to be the cornerstone of a franchise. let go. The team chose Daniel Jones over you. To let you go. You go to the division. You go to a division rival. And in your first year, man, this is how you conclude that year. Playing for a rival, breaking 2,000 yards, having a career year, finishing a regular season and postseason combined yardage record of over 2,500 rushing yards. Like I said, winning the Super Bowl. Fantastic year for Saquon. Winning Offensive Player of the Year. So kudos and congratulations to Saquon. Shout out to Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni. Let's not forget, 2 years ago, they were in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs. They fell short. Then the next year, trash. And Philadelphia wanted a new quarterback and coach. The Eagles ain't too long ago wanted to fire both Sirianni and Hurts. And now they stay the course. You know what I mean? A couple additions, a couple changes in the coaching room, right back to the Super Bowl, and then you get their revenge. So kudos, congratulations to them as well. Going forward, and yeah, this is gonna be it, man, before we go ahead and call it. But going forward, so football's over. I'm diving full-fledged into draft season, man. So I do love this time of year. I love the draft. Diving full-fledged into draft season. I'm picking up the boxing talk. Shout out to my dog Keandre. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. He said Xavier is not a one. Well, no. Well, all right, hold on. You getting me straight. You said a deep threat. He's a deep threat. Now, one and deep threat are different. Like I said, so maybe he's not a one per se, but he's a deep threat. You didn't say a one. You said a deep threat. He's a deep threat. You know what I'm saying? He's a deep threat. But what I was gonna say is, yeah, I'm getting to the draft. Man, boxing's definitely finna pick up now that I'm in the offseason, man. So shout out to my dog Keandre. Man, we're gonna have some good episodes. We got some good fights coming up. Keyshawn Davis coming up. Bivol and Better BF rematches coming up. Shakur's gonna fight. Tank is fighting. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of good fights coming up. So I'm gonna get back into the boxing probably pretty heavy as well. And then also, I'm thinking I'm probably gonna move the show. We're gonna move to Sunday while we're in the off season. This is what I'm thinking. So in the off season, I think instead of Wednesday night shows, it was Wednesday and Sunday during the season. So now that the season's over, I think I'm gonna move primarily from Wednesday to Sunday. So probably do like a Sunday morning or even Sunday afternoon show now that there's no football. And then that show would be either talking draft, boxing, if they're just just sports talk or just whatever the case. But it'll probably be Sundays going forward. And then if something comes up, I'll be sure to, let everybody know. But that's what I'm thinking so far. So wanted to let y'all know about that. Other than that, man, hey, y'all know what's going on, man. Appreciate y'all tapping in with your dog. Shout out to the members, man, in the building. Shout out to my dog Keandre, man. That's the captain of the shit, man. He showed up. You know what I'm saying? He showed up and took his on the chin, man. I gotta respect it. Shout out to moms. Moms in the building for sure. Appreciate you. Love you, lady. Hey, Officer Show, I appreciate you. Shout out to my dog Cooper Jones in the building. I'm trying to find your comment, man. There we go. Shout out to my dog Cooper Jones for sure. Shout out to my dog, man. Hey, Day One Gang Jarrell, man. Found us in the building, man. I appreciate your homeboy. Hey, hope you get everything together, man. I know you say you're going through some stuff, man. Getting your mind right. Hey, man. Best of luck to you, big dog. You know what I'm saying? Holler at me if you need me. Shout out to my sis in the building for sure. As always, I appreciate you. Where's my dog Terrible Time, man? Shout out to my dog Terrible Time in the building. And I'm looking for you. I know Uncle's in the building. Shout out to my Uncle David Lee in the building as well. I'm looking for the rest of y'all. I'm looking. Damn. Say the same thing every week. Feel free to say it with me at home. If I forgot to say your name, damn. Hey, my bad. But charge it to my head and don't charge it to my heart. You know I'm thinking about you, big dog. Hey, appreciate all love support, man. And like I said, so going forward, more boxing, draft. I'm gonna get into the draft as well. So be looking for draft content if you're into that sort of thing. Like I said, I can't wait to do that. And then other than that, man, y'all stay safe, have fun. I appreciate y'all. Also, your boy birthday coming up. You know what I'm saying? My birthday next week. Wish your dog a happy birthday. And yeah, until then, man. I probably, like I said, I got a little time. I'm going to recharge. I'm going to take probably a week or so off, and then I'll probably be back to talk a little boxing, man. After we get these next few fights out the way, I'll probably come back and do a massive boxing recap episode, man. So, like I said, man, I already told y'all, Tank's fighting, Shakur is fighting, Keyshawn Davis is fighting, Better Be Off and Bivol are fighting. So I'm gonna probably get through those run of fights. Then I'm gonna do a massive boxing recap show. It'll probably be on a Sunday. So y'all stay tuned, man. I'll be back and let y'all know once I get that finalized. But until then, y'all stay safe, man. Appreciate y'all. I see y'all when I see y'all. Peace.